Ve'ela Mishpatim asher tasim lifneihem, and these are the laws which you shall put in front of them. Rashi says, what is Ve'ela Mishpatim asher tasim lifneihem? Should have said Eila Mishpatim asher tasim lifneihem. We know the Klal from the Talmud, Vav Mosif al Inyan Rishon, right? The Vav is a connector.
Right.
It's not a new thing, it's a connection. Kol Makom Shenemar Eila Posel as Rishonos. If it would be Eila, there would be no Hemshech, there would be no continuation. But Ve'eila Mosif al Rishonos Ma Harishonim Mi Sinai Af Elu Mi Sinai. Just like the Seres HaDivros, the Rishonim, the first ones that were given at Sinai. So also, these were also given at Sinai. So, the question is, Norgadel Yo asked the question, what's the Havam, what were we thinking, that it wasn't given at Sinai? I mean, of course it was. The whole Torah was given at Sinai, right? Why would we think that it wasn't given at Sinai? What's the Rashi really coming to explain to us? And he answers that, of course, we know that there's a difference between Chukim and Mishpatim. Chukim means laws that are just like Hashem gives them, we don't understand them, they have no meaning. Why? We don't know. Shatnez. You shall not wear wool and linen together. Basar v'chalav. You should not eat milk and meat together. These are chukim. Laws without any reason, any apparent reason at least. And then we have Mishpatim. Right? What are Mishpatim? Laws that are logical. There's logic to them. We know why they were given. Right? We understand. Really, the Goyim also have a set of laws. Right? Legal system. They also have Mishpatim, based on certain logics, precedents, whatever you want us to call it. One may think, certainly Chukim were given at Sinai. Right? Decrees that have no reason, given at Sinai. But Mishpatim, that are logical, just like the Goyim. Right? Just like they say don't kill, and if you kill you get put in jail. We say you can't kill. Capital punishment for them, capital punishment for us. Don't steal. They also say don't steal. These are the laws of a moral society. So, if they have the laws, we have the laws. Who says they're from Sinai? Says the Or Gedal Yahu, we must know that our laws, even the ones that are logical and have reason, are also given in Sinai. After all, who gives a person the ability to understand that something's logical? Who gives us our mind? Why is it logical not to steal? Maybe everybody deserves. Who says that people own things? Maybe everybody deserves. I mean, that's a brain thinking in a logical world. That logical brain is a Torah gift. It's a Torah brain. It's Hashem's brain. Yeah. We have to understand that all of our chachma and all of our laws, all of our logic, is directly connected to the Rabbanu Shalom. That's what the Or Gedal Yahu says. And we have to thank Hashem for that. Kotzker Rebbe said on the pasuk Magid Dvarov Yaakov, he tells his words to Yaakov, Chukav u'mishpatav liYisrael. He tells his chukim and his mishpatim to Yisrael. Loi asa chen l'chol goy. But he doesn't do that for all of the other nations. U'mishpatim bal yidaum. And he does not make his mishpatim known. So, first of all, what do you mean, lo asa chen l'chol goy? The goyim also have rules, also have laws. And why specifically mishpatim ba'al yidom? That doesn't make known his mishpatim. Just the opposite. The mishpatim is what they do have. It's the chukim that they don't have. Explains the Kotzker. No, this is what it means. That magid devar of Yaakov chukav and mishpatav Yisrael. The chukim and the mishpatim, not only the chukim, but even the mishpatim, are given to Klal Yisrael. They come from Hashem. Everything is connected to the Rabbeinu Shalom. All the mishpatim that we do, we don't not steal because that's what society doesn't do as well. If we would follow that train of thought, we would end up stealing. Because if you only don't steal because he doesn't steal, once you see that he starts stealing and that it becomes normal, then you also have to start stealing. Right?
Of course.
Killing.
And so on and so on.
Yeah. And all other forms
slippery
of
slope.
Whatever. That's just the way it is. And that's not why we don't steal, we don't kill, and we don't commit adultery, because those are the morals or the governance of society. We don't, because these are the laws that come from Hashem. It's Hashem that gives us our logic. Magid devarav Yaakov chukav u'mishpatav liYisrael. But lo ya'asa chen l'chol goy u'mishpatim bal yidom. It's the mishpatim, even their laws. They don't. That isn't. It's not by fulfilling their laws, by being a good citizen. It's not connected to the Rabbeinu Shalom in any way. It's based on morals and ethics. But when the morals and ethics fall, when somebody can reason a different way, or even if the lust for whatever it is gets the better of them, then they fall. But not us. Not us. We do it because Hashem wills it. Ulechein, and therefore, Hallelujah. That's why we praise Hashem. That even the things that everybody else supposedly does as well, we do, and we get rewarded for it. And when we do it, we have an opportunity to bring light to the world and to connect to Hashem. The Medrash says, Vayihi b'yom hashlishi, right? B'yasa boiker, kavos uvrakim, anan kaved, right? It was on the third day. There was a lot of thunders and lightnings and a lot, and they received it on the day that they received the Torah. Vayihi b'yom hashlishi b'yos haboker. It was in the morning. Says the Medrash, b'boker nitna Torah. It was in the morning that the Torah was given. Uba'erev nitna mishpatim. And in the evening, the mishpatim were given. Hadou dichsiv mi boker la'erev yochichu. There was a connection. The Aseret Sedibros in the morning, the mishpatim in the evening. What's the pshat? So, although we won't go through the Ramban, but we do know that the Ramban relates the Aseret Sedibros into the mishpatim. He sort of parallels the Aseret Sedibros with some of the mishpatim. Okay, Ayin Sham, if you like. Okay. But you see a deep connection between the Aseret Sedibros, Ma'elu mi Sinai, Afelu ma Rishonim mi Sinai. Also the Achronim are from Sinai. There's a connection. In the Boiker, in the morning, was Matan Torah. In the Erev, was the Mishpatim. I'd like to say, perhaps, as follows. The morning, as we know, the light of the morning, the clarity, During the day, the sun is there, we can see things clearly. In the Erev is darkness, as we know, very hard to see. Now we have streetlights. That's a mo. Darkness was darkness. You didn't go out at night. Couldn't see, couldn't travel. The Aseres Adibros, starting with Anochi Hashem Elokecha, is the clarity, the idea that the Rabbanu Shalom is one. In the Olamos Ha'elyonos, in the higher worlds, in the true worlds, where we're exposed to this, where it's day, where it's light, we're able to see the oneness of the Rabbanu Shalom and understand Hashem Hu Elokim, Hashem Echad. But in the Erev, in Golus, in the lower worlds, the Olam HaMaaseh, this world, we don't see it. We don't see it. But how are we mekayim it? How do we fulfill it? By following the Mishpatim. By doing the Mishpatim. In the morning is Anochi Hashem Elokecha. But what is our job in the Erev? In Golus, until we get to the Boker, the Or HaBoker, that is going to come in the future. That's through the Mishpatim. Following the laws of the Rabbanu Shalom, doing what he says to do, acts of kindness, mitzvahs, Torah. That's how we bring light into the Golus. The experience of Hashem Echad. Perhaps that's a Matan Torah type of experience, where there's a Hisgalus, a revelation of Shechina in the world, and Hashem comes down and says, Anochi Hashem lo yelecha. 600,000 people see, literally, they see Hashem, they see the call of Hashem. That's an experience that Amitzvah Hashem will have in the times of Mashiach. But for now, in the Erev, we cling to the Mishpatim. In Das Torah, Rabbi Yerucham expounds on a different law that's said in this week's PARSHA. We talk about a ganav, a robber, thief. Ki yignov ish shor oseh. He steals an ox or a sheep.
4 times, 5 times.
Utvacho. And he slaughters it. Omecharo. Or he sells it. Chamisha bakar yishalem tachas hashar. 5 bakar instead of the shar. Va'arba tachas haseh. 4 tzon instead of the seh. Right? A punishment to a ganav, a thief. You stole something. You don't just pay the actual. Normally you pay double. If you steal a sheep or a shor or a seh, an ox, you pay even more. 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's right.
Why do you pay 4 or 5?
Because the kids, the
reason is because the Torah is so. But why is there a difference between stealing the shor and stealing?
Embarrassing.
Right.
That's right.
So Rashi says, you know why? Amar Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai brings the Gemara.
Right.
Baba Kama. Chas hamokim al kvoidan shel brios.
His mercy.
Hashem has mercy on people.
Mercy.
Shor shahayla beraglav lo nisbaza. When you steal an ox, you just pull it.
You're not embarrassing.
You're not embarrassing yourself. Right? He doesn't have to carry it on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm. But the sheep.
So you pay 5. But the sheep, you gotta. It's a little bit. It's difficult to handle. And it's bazabo. You become embarrassed with stealing it. So you get off one of the payments. You only have to pay 4. Amra Meir Borei Kama Gedola Kocha Shel Malacha. Fine, but different shot. Says Rabbi Yerucham a muy ridiculous tickle. Says we learn 2 things from him. you learn from here the great value that the Torah puts onto bizyonis, embarrassment, bizyonis. When somebody embarrasses you, what's your first reaction?
Get angry.
What? You get angry.
But it's not right.
Instead, when he embarrasses you, you should be kissing his feet.
Yes.
Right?
Send the thank you cards.
Yeah, send him a thank you card.
Mamish. We only knew.
He says, Kigam bebizoyin muat. Even with a small amount of bizoyin, kol kach asher eitzel aganav, like you see with this ganav, right? I mean, after all, you're stealing. And, I mean, okay, it's a little embarrassing, but the guy's stealing. I'm sure he's doing it at night, right? I mean, you know what's... That would parallel to deduct from his punishment a whole share, an entire ox, an entire sheep. He says, I've seen many times butchers that schlep a sheep on their shoulder, and I don't see them too embarrassed about it. Okay, you know, whatever, it's not the cleanest of jobs, but
No.
you know, it's a job. I'm not so embarrassed.
Never do
Well,
that.
the Hirsch is a nice explanation.
V'im kol zeh b'bizoyin kol dehu, even with a small amount of bizoyin, megarin b'milas ansho, we take so much away from his punishment. And some of it we have to understand. It's a little difficult, this lesson, to internalize properly, but somebody embarrasses us, you can't imagine the kaparas avonos that we just had.
Tremendous kapara.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And it's not just somebody else, somebody who needs to embarrass themselves in order to do the right thing. Right? You need to embarrass yourself, even though you're ashamed. I don't know, you can use any example. Ashamed of a mitzvah, right? You don't want to show those tzitzis, really. You don't want to, whatever, the kippah at work, what? However whichever example you want to use. It's a little embarrassing. Okay, listen, there might be other cheshbonos, of course. If the goyim are going to make fun of us, we can't. You know, there's other cheshbonos. But we all have our own examples. We're a little embarrassed to do something.
It's too personal.
Yeah.
Every person is different.
Exactly. It's too personal to give a good example here. But the idea is that we all have these things that, okay, a little embarrassing the first time, maybe the second time a little bit, but after a while it doesn't become embarrassing anymore. I'm going to look like that. I should look like that. Haredi? No, you know, I mean, there's a certain embarrassment of doing things that you know others might find funny. At least the first couple of times, maybe being Shomer Shabbos or even basic level. You know, like come on, it's embarrassing. It might be a little fun, right? No, it depends where a person is.
That first Shabbos.
All the time.
The first Shabbos?
You know what happened. You had these experts coming in.
Oh yeah, that was in 1995.
Anyway, everybody has their thing. You can't imagine the amount of embarrassment to somebody. If it's more embarrassing, even better. The amount of embarrassment that we suffer in this world can be light years of hell that we're going to suffer.
Removed.
Removed. Yeah.
Removed.
Instead of, that's what I meant. He says, you see another lesson from here. There's two ways to do an Avera. We spoke about this briefly a few weeks ago. He says, Sov kol sov, acharei shaganav eino osa ha'avera mitoch harchava, einon shagadol kol kach. At the end of the day, the ganav's a ganav. He's doing an Avera here, right? He's stealing. It's malicious, presumptuous. There's no mistakes going on over here. He's stealing.
Well, this cow is yours? I didn't know that.
Right. So he says that if a ganav steals comfortably, he's punished more.
Yeah.
But if he steals uncomfortably, he's punished less.
How do you know that?
What does that mean, that he's stealing uncomfortably? So here it means, it's a bit more of a physical uncomfort. The parallel is, and we talked about this when it came to Paro, we said, what's the taina on Paro? I mean, after all, Hashem hardened his heart. Right? Moshe's coming back and saying, you should let my people go, and why he had, we have a taina on Paro that he's not letting. He's going to say no. Hashem hardened his heart, and I believe we said the Sfasema says that the taina on him was not that he didn't let them go, but that he did it b'simcha.
Yeah.
He wanted them to stay. He was happy about it. He did it b'harchava. Whereas he could have, sometimes, we're in a situation where Avera is being done, Avera is done. But the aleph base of tshuva is that one has to feel bad about what we're doing. There are certain types of things that, maybe, perhaps, we're not ready to take it on yet, whatever the excuse is, but at least we have to do it with a very, very heavy heart. And we have to feel bad about it. We should never do it, but everybody has these situations and whatnot. And the first opportunity we get, we'll jump out of it. Eventually, if we feel bad for it in a real way, not just, whatever, okay, I can't do it, now I'm happy about doing the Avera. I can't do the right thing, so I won't do the right thing, and I'm happy. No. A Ganev, even when he's a Ganev, if he does it b'archava, he's going to pay.
It's professional, the call.
He's going to pay. And if he does it not b'archava, even though he's a Ganev, of course we're not condoning Geneva. All we're saying is that, whatever, if it's happening, it's got to be with a heavy heart. It's got to be shloi b'harchava.
You know what is professional Ganav? We don't catch him, tell him, no, I'm not Ganav. Right?
Yidog me'od v'lo yismach chalila. He's got to worry about it a lot. Never be happy. Lo ba'avera, lo b'perusah, not with the avera, and not with what came out of it, of hanos, hamis, or even the enjoyment that you experience from that avera. Kizeh oid magdil ha'avera pi kama, because that's going to intensify the severity of the avera. Gewaldige shtickle from the Viruchim of Mir. Every year, PARSHA's Mishpatim, we say over Sfasemes.
Oh,
this is
the
Sfasemes.
Yeah.
You're giving it away. Or they could just look at last year's show. But
no, don't want to look at last year.
Actually, or the year before, We said
I got to give it over. You got to give it over. It's very.
Probably say,
who does that?
I think my wife, whenever she hears this word, she's like, "Oh, that again."
I can't. You wouldn't say that.
No, she wouldn't.
Here we go again.
Yeah. The Torah defines 4 types of shomer, of people that are responsible for watching or handling somebody else's object.
Yeah, 4 watchmen.
There's 4 relationships.
Yeah.
One type of a relationship is when I give you my object and I say, please watch it for me, you're my friend, I'm not going to pay you or anything like that, you're doing me a favor.
I trust you.
So, who's the beneficiary of that relationship? Me.
You are.
The one that's
please watch my gold watch, right?
For free.
For free.
For free.
Right. Please, not for cash. For gold. Yeah. Please take this gold watch and watch it for free. So I'm the person who deposits that gold watch. He's the enjoyment. So the shomer chinam, the guy who's watching it for free, is only responsible for negligence. He's not responsible if it gets stolen, if it gets lost, or if there's an accident that happened. He's only responsible for pure negligence. Then there's a shomer sachar relationship, where, yes, I'd like you to watch the object, you're a bank, right? And you say to me, okay, it'll be $30 a month, right? And I'll put it in the safety deposit box. That's a shomer Sachar, which is a shomer, he's guarding it, but for reward. Who's the beneficiary of this relationship? Both of us. Both of us. I gain, you're watching, you gain, I'm paying, fine. So what are the responsibilities? It's a greater level of shmira, of responsibility of watching. You need to watch, not only to ensure that there's no negligence, but also to ensure that there's no gneva, nobody steals it, you've got to put it into a safety deposit box. You can't just leave it out. No aveda, it doesn't get lost, right? But if an accident happens, you're not responsible because of an accident. There's a shomer, there's a socher, which is a renter, right? Can I rent your boat, please? So that's machlokas in the Gemara. If it's like a shomer socher, a shomer chinam, we won't go into that. And then there's a shalach. There's a shoel, a borrower. So you say, can I please borrow your gold watch? And I say, sure, here's my gold watch, and please just return it to me tomorrow. And you say, fine, no problem. Who's the beneficiary of that relationship?
The borrower.
The borrower. Kol hana shelo. Yeah. And therefore, he's responsible to pay if negligence happens, if it gets stolen, if it gets lost, and even if an accident happened. Kol hana shelo.
Only normal use, he's not responsible.
There's only two exceptions. One is called Mesa Machmas Melocha. If the battery dies or something, it's not responsible. It died because of its normal use. And the second one is an interesting kind of exemption called Bailov Imoy. Bailov Imoy means that if there's some sort of employee-employer relationship between us, the borrower and the lender,
we're working on that,
right, at the time of borrowing, then the borrower is exempt from Einstein. He's exempt from the accidents. Okay? Good?
Yep.
Those are the laws of Shemot.
Right.
Okay? Says the Sfasanis. Beautiful Sfasanis. Hashem Yisborach gives every single person on this world Kalim Yikarim. A beautiful kalim, beautiful watches, beautiful kalim, everything. What are the kalim? Not the physical kalim. The chushim, you can taste, you can smell, you can hear, you can see. These are the ruchnius aspects of a person. V'neshama hatahura, and a beautiful, pure neshama. And a person does with it whatever he wants. You can use it for your own benefit. I'm lending it to you for 120 years.
For free.
Just do me a favor. Give it back to me in one piece. Without any dents, without any scratches. Nicely painted, not rusty. Give it back to me the way I gave it to you. And we're borrowers. The enjoyment of this world is all ours. Hashem doesn't have any enjoyment in that relationship. So we're borrowers. And guess what? We're the beneficiary of the relationship. Therefore, what are the responsibilities? We're chayav. If we give back a neshama that's blemished, then we're chayav. Not only for negligence, not only for gneva and aveda, but even for oinsim. Even if something happens as an accident, against our will. But ain't tzarich ba'aretz shali asatav li'echata. But everybody sins. What are we supposed to do? How are we going to exempt ourselves? The Rebbe is going to demand that we pay for it. I was going to have to take it to the body shop and fix it. So you know what they do? They take a sledgehammer and they start banging out the metal and stuff like that. They got to rework it. Right? And sometimes they fire it up with some fire and they got to remold it, right? That's what's going to happen. So what do we do? Im balav imai lo yisham. If im balav imai, if there's no relationship, employer-employee relationship, or that pre-existing relationship between us and Hashem, then we're going to have to pay. But if there isn't, if such a relationship is established,
we're exempt.
We're exempt. What do we have to do? Of course, we have to make sure to watch that neshama. But we also have to work on creating that relationship with the Ribono Shel Olam. We have to work on the Chukim and the Mishpatim. The light during the night. We have to work on that. We have to work on Kirvas Elokim, on talking to Hashem, singing Hashem, praying to Hashem, doing His mitzvahs, doing chesed. And if we do that, we're exempt. It says the SHMOS, and this I don't say every year. So you can start listening again. Chapter 11. There's another P'tur.
Which bag?
SHMOS? Tafish Lamed Zayin, I think.
Okay.
There's another exemption. What's the other exemption called? Mesa Machmas Malacha. You die in regular, in the natural course of
the battery will die.
Yeah.
That's right.
For many of us, we have this problem. And the problem is the job that we were sent to do in this world is beyond our abilities to finish. We're never going to be able to finish it.
Wow.
120 years, look, in the first, who knows how many, I didn't know anything, and then I came, and I'm just a beginner, and I have so many other responsibilities, and I can't learn Gemara, and I can't do this, and I can't get up for chakras, and I can't, and whatever, and okay, I can't. It's,
oh boy. So
why? Because I'm never anyways going to get there. Because that's subconsciously, it's one of the biggest Yetzer Haras. I'm never going to finish it. I'm not in that league. I'm not in that. So learn a few words, study a little bit. No, says the mission on Avos Lo Alecha Hamalacha Ligmar V'Yata Ben Charem Libatel Mimena. You don't have to finish the job. You don't have to finish the job. Hashem never said you have to finish the job. But you're not a free person. Yata Ben Charem Libatel Mimena. You can't just not do it. You got to go and do it. If Hashem gives you Siyata D'Shmaya, you'll finish the job. If He doesn't, okay. So, Meisa Machmas Malacha, it's also an exemption. Person shouldn't feel bad. Says the SHMOS. Al Yipo Lev Ha'adam Kisharoya She'eni Yachal Ligmar Hamaisa Karai. When he sees that he can't finish the action properly. It's not up to you to finish. On that note, what time is it?
Early.
10:32.
10:32? So we still have time for another. If we get home a little early tonight because my wife is away, so I have to watch the kids.
The Kinderlich.
There's a beautiful, beautiful shtickle in, say, from the Amakim, from Rabbi Moshe Shapiro. It's recommended reading. If you don't have it, you should go and buy it.
Which one? What was it?
Yeah, Amakim.
Oh, yeah, I have that.
You have it, yeah. And if you have Oitzer HaChachma, I think they have it. I'm pretty sure they have it, but I'm not 100% sure. So he says an amazing idea. In our PARSHA, in this week's PARSHA, we have the idea of the Eved Ivri. The Eved Ivri is the Jewish servant that was Nimkar B'gnei Vaso. He was sold to another Jew, right? And Chazal say, when you buy an Eved, you're really buying a master. You're not really buying an Eved. Right? You got to treat him better. If you only have one bed, he gets the bed. Right? If you only have one steak, he gets the steak. It's the steak.
Good bed, good bed, good bed.
Good bed, good steak, good job. Right? It's not a bad job. And then we know that the Eved works for 6 years. And the 7th year, he goes free.
Shemitah, not for the Shemitah.
Right?
Because of Shemitah.
If he wants.
Yeah. And if he says, Ahavti Asishti, Esbanai, I love this wife that you gave me. The master can give him this Shivcha. Esbanai, the children that I've had from her, La'etze Chavshi. I want to go. I don't want to leave. I want to stay in your house. You're so good to me. You're so nice. I love working for you. So you bring him to the Delas. No. Avodah Haim. Oizen Sheshamas. The ear that heard Har Sinai that you are my servants, and now you became a servant to my servant. So you got to get your ear pierced, because that was the ear that heard that.
That hear everything.
And our doorpost. Tzias Mitzrayim. Hashem took us for a nation, and now Kili Yisrael, Kili B'nai Yisrael. And now you're going to be a servant to somebody else. Okay, fine. And you get to stay till Yovel.
Until when?
Yovel.
Oh, Yovel. Yeah.
Yovel.
49 years.
Right? You got to leave at Yovel. It says Rav Moshe Shapiro. It's really the end of a larger shtickle, but try to explain it as well as I can.
Yeah.
The Gemara in Sanhedrin that we've mentioned says that it brings the pasuk in Yeshaya, Ani Hashem bi'ita achishana. I am Hashem, one of the nevuos. In its right time, I will hasten the redemption. I will speed it up. The Gemara says, Im bi'ita lo yachishana. If it's going to be in the right time, then what do you mean that you're speeding it up? V'im achishana, and if you're speeding it up, lo bi'ita. It's not in its right time. So what is it? Is it a predestined time, or is it achishana? I'll speed it up. He says the Gemara, Mzachu, the Bnei Yisrael merit achishana, then it's going to be early. And in Zachu, if they don't merit, if we don't merit, Be'ita. There is a predestined time.
Set.
There is a predestined time. What's the determining factor? Says Moshe Shapiro.
The same way that it can be speed up, can be...
No, time it's set up.
I know, okay.
Yeah.
In Eved Ivri, who had to get sold as a slave, should be longing to leave that environment.
Yeah.
He's an Eved. A Jewish person is not an Eved. A Jewish person is not an Eved.
Well, Eved
in the sense, he's not an Eved to an Eved.
Right. What's up with them?
Right. He's not an Eved to the Yetzer Hara. He's not an Eved to his eyes. He's not an Eved to his mouth. And those are our challenges, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And when we fall, we become Avadim. We're slaves to that Yetzer Hara. That Yetzer Hara. We are slaves. We work for him. He tells us what he wants, and we listen. But no, we're not. We're above that. What does that mean we're above it? We're not servants to him. We can be miskaber. We can overcome. We can overcome that Yetzer Hara. When we overcome that Yetzer Hara, we're b'nei choirin. We're free men.
It's Pesach.
Free men. Pesach's coming, especially at the COR.
Really?
Really? Already a couple months ago.
This really?
Pesach.
Jesus making room already.
But not at your house.
No, not yet.
There's people, the rabbis in the COR out of their houses, they wait.
Yeah, we wait, yeah.
Okay, good.
We wait for Be'ita. But in COR, it's Achi Shana.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
So that's how you touch the basuk.
Yeah.
Interesting. COR, Achishena, by Be'ita.
Okay, that's the 5 feathers.
So, if the Eved, if he wants to leave, okay, he's in a tough situation.
Yeah.
The Yetzer Hara got the better of him. But he wants to leave. He wants to get out. then he gets out early. Right?
Hashem
You
was
go free early. What's the thing in Monopoly? Right? You get out of jail free early. Whatever.
Free pass.
Free pass. You get to when Shemitah comes, whenever it comes, you go. You go. You get out early. But a person who doesn't want, Ahavti es ishti, I like my life. I'm comfortable. Esbanai, eitzei chavshi. I don't want to go. I don't want to be free. I like my house in Toronto. I like my job in Toronto. What do I need Mashiach for? Chas v'shalom. Such an attitude, Leinu. But, unfortunately it exists out there. I'm so comfortable where we are. Life is good. At least when it comes to, Mashiach, then life is good. Otherwise we're just complaining. But
that's the physical part talking.
Yeah, that's the Lord. I want to be an Eved to an Eved. I just prefer to be an Eved to Yetzer Hara. But that's not us. The Bnei Yisrael are Avadai Haim. We are servants only to the Rabbanu Shalom and not to our physical desires. We have to want to go out free. We have to look forward to the Geula. We have to want it to happen now, and we're on the next plane. Chavetz Chaim had his bags packed.
waiting at the door. Next to the doorway.
Waiting in the closets. Whenever Mashiach comes, to go, to jump, to go. That's how we have to look at our situation. And if we do, if we're mishtokik, if we want to leave right away, then we're not really an Eved. Even though we exist in a human form, we have these problems. But when we want to leave early, then we're not really an Eved. Yeah, we got to suffer through it because Hashem put us here, physical existence, there's something to overcome, we have a job to do, we have work to do, we have to deal with the Yetzer Hara, we have the challenge, Ishti, Vanai, whatever. But we want out. We want the Rabbanu Shalom. The purpose of Choshech, of Laila, of Golus, is to show the Rabbanu Shalom that even when it's not clear, that we're still doing the Mishpatim, we're still following the laws, whether they don't make sense, and even when they, usually you say the other, whether they make sense or even if they don't make sense, and we'll say the opposite. Whether they don't make sense, or even if they do make sense, we do them only because you, the Rabbanu Shalom, wants us to do them. If we do that, then we really elevate the entire Golus to the Bechina, to the idea of Anochi Hashem Elokecha, Asher Tzisicha Me'eretz Mitzrayim. And when we're mishtokik for the Geula, when we elevate ourselves, and the Rabbanu Shalom will surely send Mashiach Tzidkenu, not Bi'ita, but rather Ba'achi Shena. Amen.